So, fellas, first off, appreciate you guys stopping in.
No problem, no problem.
You know, you setting the bar pretty high. You are our first guest on a new podcast series we got going on here.
Well, this is our first interview.
Yes, this is our first podcast.
Awesome. So, kind of talk to us. Tell us what brought you guys to good old state of North Carolina.
Okay, so I had gotten a message on TikTok, and I get hundreds of messages on TikTok, and it's hard to filter through them, you know. And I don't know why I clicked on Sam Bailey's, but I clicked on his, and he had told us about the 54th annual Lumbee Homecoming, and that they had this event where a bunch of TikTok creators were going to come together, you know, sign autographs, take pictures with fans, sell merch, and just, you know, and I shot it over to Bruce, and I said, man, what do you think about this? And I showed him the dates, and he called me back the next day. He goes, I got permission from my wife.
Yeah, permission was granted.
Yeah, we all know how that goes.
And so it was Sam Bailey. You know, he invited us.
The
us
official
out.
Sam Bailey.
Right. What a great guy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Awesome
Sure.
guy.
Shout out to Sam Bailey.
Yeah,
y'all.
shout out to
he
Sam.
he took care of us the whole time we've been here. Like, we haven't needed anything.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, my first introduction to him was same thing, kind of like, you know, saw him on TikTok. I didn't know he was local.
Yeah.
I saw some of his stuff, and somehow I found out that, you know, he was possibly from Robeson County.
Yeah.
Right.
And because normally, you know, we all kind of recognize each other with the last names. We all,
Right.
Oxendine, Locklear.
Yeah.
So he didn't show up on my radar. And I found out he was from Robeson County. Same thing, reached out to him. He was responsive. And what really surprised me about him is that he was so helpful. We did lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I asked him, hey, can we meet up? You know, you're from, you know, in Pembroke and Prospect. I'm from, you know, the Renner community. And he said he'd saw some of our stuff, you know,
Right.
with the videos what made our business locally. And so we had some synergies. We did lunch. And I was just so amazed the fact that he genuinely just wanted to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, I'm used to, you know, when I'm meeting with folks and, you know, when you get a certain level of success, you know, we all know what, you know, we're here for, you know, it's about money, you know, we want to make some money, but we also want to help. And sometimes that balance gets a little off teeter there. But he told me from the very beginning, you know, he gave me some pointers about, you know, how he's gotten to where he's gotten with his content. And I told him some of the struggles we had with creating content with mass appeal. And, you know, he was just so helpful with it. And every time I reached out to him, even like with this, he's like, man, he said, you know, here's a good opportunity. You know, you can meet these guys, you can meet these folks, and, you know, there's a good opportunity for collaboration. So shout out to Sam Bailey.
Yeah.
Shout out to
sure.
Sam
Sam Bailey.
Yeah.
That's our new buddy.
Yeah, so I do have a question for y'all. Who's your people?
Lumbee.
Oh, yeah, Lumbee people.
Lumbee
That's
tribe,
what's up.
baby.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Lumbee people.
So how'd you enjoy it? How many days were you down?
We showed up Thursday. We left Wednesday morning, and we showed up Thursday evening about 8:45. We made a couple stops. We made we ate some barbecue on Beale Street in Memphis. We stopped.
Walking in Memphis.
Yeah, we just shot through Atlanta. Where I'm hoping we get to go stop and see some things in the ATL. But and then we stopped in South Carolina and stopped and seen a fan, sold some merchandise there, and then the park rangers thought we were real trappers, and she's like,
Yeah, we almost got in on the gator. Bro, they was trying to have us trap a gator, and we was going along with it. Like, yeah, we're down.
Yeah,
So
she's
we're
like,
trying to get that on camera.
Y'all can help us trap this gator? It's been bothering our swans out here. She's like handing us a business card, writing down. And Bruce is looking at me. He's like,
Are we about that life for
Yeah.
real?
Yeah, we are.
she's like, what are y'all on? And I
Yeah.
said, we're on TikTok and Facebook. She goes, so I showed her, and I was like, but don't watch those videos till we leave.
Right, we trying to stall her out so that she don't figure out that we ain't really trappers. You know what I mean? Because that would have been the hell of content right there.
Yeah, so, but all the way up here.
Ranger Rick was one of them's name too. Shout out to Ranger Rick.
Ranger Barry too. Ranger Rick and Ranger Barry.
Yeah.
But all the way up here, every stop, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all, every single stop. We even stopped in Atlanta, and we get noticed and had to take pictures. There's so much love across this U.S. going east from Oklahoma that we've gotten so much love, man.
And like everybody that approached us, it was all positive. Like,
Everybody, they love us, man.
and we ain't used to that. You know what I mean?
Nah,
And it was just a real humbling deal.
Awesome.
You know, all the way here was just like So we planned out that when we knew we were coming here, we're like, all right, well, let's make a road trip of it. This is going to be like TrapMasters road trip. We're going to film a bunch of stuff. It's kind of like a power week for us because we've been dropping a bunch of videos for us, you know, since we been on the road. And we just been having a great time. We feel like it's like our time in life where we get to enjoy ourselves.
But we don't want to get off the rails here. So
We
the
ain't getting off
question
the
was,
rails.
when did we show up? We showed up Thursday
Yes.
evening, and we've been here since Thursday evening. And we camped out Wednesday night in Mississippi.
Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel and Holiday Inn in Lumberton on Thursday or
The next night.
the next night.
Where'd
yeah.
y'all see the big roach at? That was like
Holiday
that long?
Inn in Lumberton.
Yeah, y'all need to do something. Y'all need Trap Masters out there. Golly, I
That
got
was
something
not
for 'em.
a water bug. That was not a water bug. We looked up close, and that was
Yeah, we got something for him. Y'all want to hit us up?
for real.
We hit him with that Victor trap. He ain't got a chance.
I woke up and the roach was cuddling with me. I said, man.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, that's got to be somewhere down there in Loverton.
Yeah, he said he was going to pay $35 for part of the room, but he skipped out on us.
Nice. But yeah, back to what you were saying, you know, the great thing about what you guys is doing is that something I've learned in business, you know, people oftentimes forget what you say, but they never forget how you make them feel. And I think, you know, with what you guys are doing, you know, the content and all that, you know, it's something good, it's something positive.
That's
and
powerful.
yeah, and you know, as I've grown in business, I've had to learn that too. You know, it's about having fun. It's about laughing. Laughing is the soul for the, you know, it's medicine. You know what I mean, for a lot of us. And you know, some people may look at what you guys do. Some people may look at what we do, and you know, maybe want to discredit it or dismiss it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, there's people that's got all kind of illnesses, mental depression, and all that. And with what you guys doing, you never know. You may be saving someone's life just for giving them something to look at and laugh about and smile about. And that might be the only thing that they ever smile about throughout the course of the day. So hats
And
off
that's
to you guys
it.
for
And we've
finding
had,
that.
you know what's crazy? We've had a couple people close to us unfriend us because of Trap Masters.
Yeah.
You know, but we've continued to believe in what we create, and because we're bringing, I get so many messages of people talking about how much joy and happiness that we bring to them and how hard they laugh. And so the people that are close to us that unfriend us on Facebook or just be hating on us, like, I don't even care about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at the goal. You know what I'm saying? And the goal is to make people laugh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, you know, talk to me about that because, you know, with me and the business that I have here, I haven't, like, really went outside of my area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I built my business here. I mean, I'm from Robeson County. Our business is in Cumberland County, but I've stayed in the same neighborhood. I haven't experienced, at least to my knowledge, too much of that. I've experienced some of it to where, like I said, that hate that you get from your own hometown or whatnot. You know, what is it like now that, you know, you're going outside of your area? And from what I'm understanding, you know, the Lumbee people showed you guys a lot of love and all that. So
Yeah.
did that motivate you to do more of that and kind of go outside
yeah.
of your home a little bit more? And
Most definitely. It made me think that, you know what, I don't even need to listen to those people because what we're doing is we're doing the right thing. We got something.
So what I noticed is, like, the whole world's a lot bigger than Oklahoma City. And once we
Straight
stepped out that city limits, every time the car stopped, we took a picture, you know, and every time, and then it wasn't even all that. Sometimes it's just people saying, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I had a bad day, and you helped me that day. And right, I mean, I felt like once we got out of our city, I realized how big everything is that we're doing. And it is big.
And how much we are loved, even, you know. And you know what?
And I'm not meaning
shout out to the
disrespect
haters.
to our people at home. I'm just saying they know. They know.
so you know what really happens. You know that blueprint, right?
Yeah.
So at first you're criticized, you're laughed, you're mocked, even in your hometown, primarily in your hometown.
Yeah.
But as you grow and you find your purpose and your calling, and you keep doing that, you grow your wings, you spread, you go out, and then you become so big that when you come back home, they have parades for you, celebrate you when you
Now,
get back.
I want to
So
say,
I kind of see that for you guys.
I got to clear something up real quick, okay? Because I just realized something. Now there is now we got some people pulling for us in OKC.
Yeah.
Brandon Kilo, Brendan Kilo is our homeboy there, and Yusef, can't say his last name because it's about 50 letters long, but Yusef and Brandon Kilo, what's up, baby? BKB Comedy up in here.
Yeah, man, we ain't forgetting about
They
the
push
people.
our live show. We do. We've done one live show, and then we got Brandon and Yusef behind us, and they promote us and get us venues. We're doing our second one August 19th.
My birthday.
Awesome.
At the venue. It's actually called The Venue.
Yeah.
So, man, not everybody's like that. We do have some people pulling for us in our city.
Shout out to the ones that do show love in
And
OKC.
we really appreciate them,
sure.
you know?
So tell us how did it all come about? You know, kind of maybe give us a backstory. If you haven't shared this, be a good time for people that watch you guys' content and on TikTok and know you from your content.
Definitely.
But maybe they want to get to know your story a little bit more and your story. So can you kind of tell us about all that?
So you want to know how we met or how TrapMasters started?
Both.
Okay. So me and Bruce met. We met in sober living. We're actually both in recovery. I'll have 6 years clean and sober on November 18th, and
I'll have 3 years October 6th.
October 6th. So I spent 15 years ruining my life from the time I was 17 until I was 32. It was in and out of prison, in and out of jail, high, drunk, going to prison, drug-related charges, just everything drug and alcohol related, and just ruining my life, The third time I went in, I decided that I was done. I was 32 years old, and I had nothing in life. And, So I was done. I gave it up, and I was never gonna go back. And so I started plugging into recovery, plugging into God, plugging into recovery, and just maintaining that that path. And I get out of prison with 2.5 years sober. My first 2 times in prison, I stayed strung out on drugs. That third time when I got out, I moved into sober living and Better Together Recovery. Shout out to Better Together
Blake
Recovery.
Beckner, what's
Blake
up?
Beckner, what's up, boy? And we met Blake Beckner also. He was in prison. He started some sober living houses when he got out. That was his dream. And he's doing great today, but he's actually changing a lot of lives.
Yep.
So shout out to Better Together Recovery. So
Yep.
I moved into Better Together Recovery. Blake, me and Blake had been in contact, and he's like, hey, I want you to come to my sober living house. So I get out and I come to the sober living house, and that's where I meet Bruce. And first
And I
time,
was fresh off the drugs.
yeah, Bruce was like 2 days clean, y'all.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was volatile.
That morning, when I got there, I didn't have nothing but $200 in my pocket. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a car, and I didn't know how I was gonna get to work the next day. I did have a job, so I asked Bruce. I said, "Man, you think you can give me a ride to work tomorrow?" Because he was going on that way, and he's like, "Yeah," And he.
But I overslept, and
He
now that I think
overslept.
about it, everything I owned was in that Suburban. I don't really know if you could have fit in there anyway.
Hey, this fool overslept. I'm late for work. I had to call my boss to come get me. My boss is pissed off at me, and I didn't know what I was. So already our relationship started out that
On
I
the
was
rocks.
I was resenting him, and then
And then I was jealous of him, because he was friends with my homeboy, and we just wasn't liking it, And
So how'd y'all get past that? Like, it was
well, we
Uh,
almost came to blows actually, and then we went outside and just hashed it out and decided that we might just need each other,
I don't know. It's just one of them. It's just one of them. I got chills thinking about it. It's one of them God things, y'all. We let go and finally just started really digging into our recovery, and
We decided we was on the same mission,
and that was 3 years ago that we met, and we we just became best friends. I mean, we hung out together. We always clowning and joking together. I mean, and then
Text back and forth is epic, dude.
fast forward 3 years later, we got a life now. You know, we got a wife, kids, house,
Married.
all the things that come when you get clean and sober, all the good blessings that come.
Promises.
And the promises,
Promises, baby.
Promises. And we're still like clowning around. Well, how TrapMasters started was Bruce got bit by a Great Dane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Real talk.
Yeah, that's how it started, y'all.
So and we had just like he had already started his TikTok, and then I had just started mine, right? And so I had never really made a video, so I wanted to make a video, and I figured getting bit by the Great Dane was great content because see, it's what he said.
Yeah.
So I like drew I drew a picture, and I can't draw worth of crap, of a dog, and wrote "wanted" above it, and then I drew a unibrow all the way across with my girl's eyeliner, and I had this little toy microphone, and I put the words "Thix" around it, and I was Skip Tracer from Channel Thix News, reporting on news that don't matter.
So I see this skit on Facebook. I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I see this skit, and I'm like, bro, this is gold. And so I'm a barber out there on the streets, and I'm going to cut his son's hair that day. I'm coming over to cut his son's hair.
So we're gonna pump him up.
And I said, hey, bro, we need to make a skit where you say,
I'm reporting on the best barber in town.
And I'm gonna pop up behind you that you're reporting that Nemo the Barber, and we're gonna have this idea that we're gonna do a before and after where you say, let's see what kind of skills he has, and then we do.
He didn't even cut none of my hair.
Yeah, the after is I don't cut your hair, I don't touch it, and you're just so
I'm blown
amazed
away
by the
with it.
haircut.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even plan on using TikTok, y'all. I never planned on getting on TikTok and getting a bunch of followers. That was never my plan. I was only using TikTok for the editing. I was going to take the video off TikTok and put it on Facebook. So I did that.
And like, so after we did that video, we knew that we worked together well with that, right?
Yeah, they loved us.
And people liked it, like, so then we're like, we need to come up with a banging idea. So we went home, we were contemplating. I'm sitting around, I'm like, well, what if, and I'm in my underwear, by the way, chugging milk out the jug or
Right
something. No,
Oh, okay.
right then. And I thought, well, what if we made a fake hunting show? And then I was like, man, surely someone's already done that. And I'm like, well, that won't work. How about if we were trappers, And then I thought about that show Bassmasters when I was a kid, and I just thought, TrapMast3rs, hell yeah, And then I thought, I want a redneck name, obviously, and that was too easy to come up with just the one. And I'm like, but what if I had two rednecks? Terry Don Jerry Dale Davis was born that day. That morning. So I text him, say, you got to have your own name. This is what I want to do. He's like, hell no, that's stupid. But he's like, all right.
He shoots this idea over to me, and I'm like, bro, I don't know. Because when he said we're going to be famous trappers, I'm thinking drug dealers. That's the first thing. I didn't even know.
Like, I don't know we're about to recover.
Right. How we going to work that together?
So he explained it to me, and I was like, bro, I don't really like that idea. And then, honestly, guys, I didn't like the idea of that. And he was like, well, just come over, man, and we'll work on it. I spent $50 on these props. And it's just a bunch of stuffed animals. There's a bunch of stuffed animals like rat traps. Yeah. So I was like, all right, bet. So I came over, and we shot the pilot video in the kitchen.
Yeah, where we were just practicing. Like, that's where we came up with the intro.
Yeah.
The set intro that
he said, I'm Terry Don Jerry Dale Davis, and I said, man, if you're gonna have 5 names, I need to have just one name. And Jaquarius was a childhood friend of mine. In
what up, Jaquarius?
Yeah, what up? If you're out there and you watching, what up, Jaquarius? So I just thought I was like, Jaquarius, that's perfect.
He texted me, Jaquarius, dude. It was one of the best moments of my life. I fell out laughing. I was just like, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was gonna be hilarious, and just like, it was just perfect, And then so the first skit we ever did, it was cold as balls outside, right? Like, I mean, it was cold. And we got these cut off, all the camo and stuff. I've had that stuff for years. Our hats are like 20 years old together. Like,
all the camo is his.
And it's been through it. You know what I mean? I hunt and fish, and I get down through there. So it's been through it. We put on all our gear, and then go out in the backyard. And we say we're way out in the middle of nowhere, and we do our thing, bro. We hit that thing in one take.
Nice.
That first video, yeah. So we did the pilot video, and I ran it back, and I was like, bro. He goes, I got camo. I said, go get it.
Did you know when you did that first video that know like this is gonna do good?
No, not at all. This is what happened. So we did that first take, and like I said, I was just using.
We was gonna take it down.
I was using TikTok for the editing, and then I was gonna move it to Facebook, and I didn't care what it did on TikTok because I think I had 13 followers.
Yeah,
and so I put it on Facebook, and I got people calling me, like family members that never like or watch my stuff, and they're like, "That's videos." My sister calls me, and she's like, "Me and Raider are dying laughing right now. Oh my God!" And so I was like, "Man, we got something here." And then the next morning, I don't know what made me click on TikTok. I click on TikTok, and it's got like 23,000 views and 2,300 likes, and I'm like, what is going on here? How do I got 2,300 likes? I only got 13 followers. And then I looked and my followers are going up. And I called Bruce and me. I said, Bruce, we hit on that video. I was like, we got something here, bro. And everybody just kept commenting, more Trap Masters. We want more Trap Masters.
Man, it was
Nice.
so exciting, dude. I don't even know how to really explain it. Like by the end of for the first 3 or 4 days, my eyes hurt from being strained from looking at my phone, and I wasn't a phone person, y'all. Like you can ask him. I did not like.
He didn't know how to do a
phones.
screenshot.
I still don't know how to do half this crap.
Yeah.
You put me in front of the camera, I can do my Terry Don Jerry Dale thing.
Nice.
But as far as pushing all them buttons and stuff, that's on y'all. And so I don't know, man. Like technology, that's not my thing, and it's crazy to me. That's just how crazy it is. Like the creator does things, you know, and put you places where you wouldn't have got to because you wouldn't have known to go there. And
awesome.
I just feel like, you know, that's what happened.
So the
there.
trapping part was his idea, the skits and stuff.
But
and,
then the man brings it. Okay?
And then what blew us up was I had this idea. I love music, guys. I love R&B, I love rap, and I love country. Those are my 3 favorite. R&B's my favorite though. And I kept hearing that damn Morgan Wallen song. What's going on, mama? Something just don't, man. And I couldn't get it out of my
I
head.
ain't been home in some months.
And my character, Jaquarius, he always talks about his mother, Edna. She's an alcoholic, but he loves her, you know. And,
Good woman.
He really loves Edna, his mom. And I was like, man, what if we do a video where I'm gonna set the tripod up and we'll do a video where I lip sync the first verse of "What's going on, mama?" Something just, and when it gets to the chorus, I want Bruce. I want you to act all irritated in the background, like.
And I was like, that's easy.
Yeah.
Because I hate this idea.
Yeah. And he didn't like the idea of us lip syncing. So he knocks the camera out the tripod, and I just look over at him. The next day, that video blew up more than any other video we had done before that. And he's like, bro, your country shit's blowing up.
Yeah. It only got like a couple million views, like in a couple of days or something.
Yeah.
You know? It was like the best one we had made.
It was, and then
So then that opened the door. So I next morning I call him. I say, man, I wish we could do Gangster Party. And he goes,
why can't we?
so I said, come on with it.
Yeah.
It's the 2 of America's Most Wanted. I said, man, find the edited one, you know?
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened too. Is there ain't no way we was gonna say the N word.
We're not saying the N word out
So-
of respect for our followers, out of respect for people, period. We wasn't going to do that. It's out of line. No,
So we had to learn the edited version,
Yeah.
which neither one of us really heard before. I ain't never heard.
We didn't
that.
grow up
Well,
on the edited version.
Tupac had his hand, or Snoop Dogg had his hand on the, you know,
Yeah.
and it wasn't what they were saying on that. So we had to learn that, right?
Yeah.
And then Gangster Party was fun, dude. Like we were getting to bring 2 of our idols.
It's called 2 of America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. But we were bringing 2 of our idols, man, out, you know, and getting to be them for a second. And man, that was kind of scary too, you know, because you know you're going to catch some flack off of it, and you don't really know what's going to happen right there.
Right.
But then it just boom, dude, and we started getting invited to barbecues all over the country, bro, and we coming to them.
So Snoop shared our post on his Instagram. Casey from Jodeci shared our post on his Instagram. Warren G. We just started
Vanilla Ice.
We started hammering them out. Vanilla Ice, H-Town, Warren G. PD Pablo.
Yeah.
We got to the point where he's
What
like,
up,
man,
PD Pablo?
What up, PD North Carolina?
We in here. Them
So
goodies, not my goodies.
So we was like, man, we just put a video out there, and we'll just, we'll just pick an artist and have them put us on their Instagram. So
You
then
know, how crazy is that? Like,
It's insane.
You know, like you've got these artists, right?
Yeah.
That have put out these iconic songs.
Yeah.
And they're pillars in the community. We grew up on them, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that, you know, you guys can come in and do your thing on it, not only garner the attention of the original creators, but gather, massive, millions and millions of views.
Being funny with it.
Hey,
being funny with it.
you know how that old lady acts whenever the Publishers Clearinghouse pulls up on her and they give her that big old check?
Yeah.
That's how I was running around in my living room
Oh,
whenever
he
we
was
get on these
so
people's
happy
Instagram and
about
stuff.
Snoop.
Bro, with Snoop, I was just like, all right, I'll be the white Snoop. Come mess with it. You know what I mean? Bring it on. Let's do this. And it was just so exciting. I don't care. It was exciting for me. You know what I mean? That's acknowledgement that, imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Right.
And you get that person that you imitated to give you a head nod, then you did your job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool. So I do want to go back and ask you guys a question. So, there's probably countless people that will, be watching this and maybe is in the season that you guys were in pre all of this. You know what I mean? Where, you're in recovery and whatnot. Some of the what would you tell someone that is maybe like right now watching this kind of in a similar situation to where they're feeling like, you know what I mean? They're down on their luck, you know what I mean? And they may be about to, what did you guys do to help push you through those tough times? Because my background, I come from a similar background. I've never had to battle that demon or that struggle with the drugs and alcohol, but my family has. My mom, my sisters, and it has really devastated our family.
Right.
And I see the struggles that my sisters went through. She's battled drug addiction, and I've helped her, come through it. But I don't know what that's like.
Right.
Can you kind of speak on that and what you did to get through that and get past that?
I would say just fully surrender, let go. Surround yourself with like-minded people that are getting sober and living that lifestyle. Find you someone you want to be like and emulate them. And take bits and pieces of what they do and incorporate it into your. Be yourself, but I would say just let go and let God, because in our program, they say we cease fighting anyone or anything, even alcohol, and that's what we do. We surrender. We don't fight it anymore, and that's the key, y'all. It's all God.
And I would say if you're miserable with it, then you're almost there. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like if you're miserable, that's a good thing.
Great.
That means it's bothering you, and that means you want to do something about it.
Yeah, you're gonna. There's a saying also. What is it? The defeated do not get to negotiate the terms of surrender. So when a man or woman, if you're fully defeated right now, and you're struggling, you're looking for some hope, I would say just surrender and don't give up, man. Don't ever give up.
And you can do it. That's what I would say to someone is that you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, God will do for you.
Man,
exactly
I'm a
what he's done
knucklehead.
for us.
I'm a knucklehead like no other. And if I can do it, then you can do it too.
Yep.
And anybody that knew me a few years ago, they would tell you a different story than what the people that know me now tell.
Yeah.
And that there is a way, and you can start from driving around in a bicycle, picking up cigarette butts in a parking lot, to owning your own company and getting married and having a good life. And there's more to life than drugs. And it's a trick nowadays. The drugs is poison. They poison the poison now. And they're killing people off. And the drugs are killing people off. It ain't like it was. It wasn't fun for me no more.
Don't give up. The fight is not yours. That's what I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Man.
So yeah. Next question I got for you guys. So how do you describe what you do to your family? Your family and friends.
Oh man, this is the question I did not really want to answer, but it's okay. I love hard questions. How do I describe what I do to my family, my immediate family? Sometimes I feel like, and I'm gonna shout out my wife. I love my wife to death. She's been my ride or die since we met. But I feel like a lot of my family, they really didn't believe in this at first, and they're coming around now, but they just thought,
Two old guys on TikTok.
Two old guys on TikTok, and what are you doing? It's child's play. It's bullshit, and it's. But I seen the bigger picture. I seen how many people we were really helping, and making laugh, man, and so.
And we
now
could be out there doing a whole lot worse stuff.
Amen.
it's a lot easier, you know. My wife's a lot more supportive now, and it's a lot easier. My sister shows a lot of love. I got brothers back home that show a lot of love, and just that's how I explain it to my family. You know what we do. You know, we just
Yeah, my wife, well, she watches all of my stuff, but you know, sometimes I can tell she gets annoyed with it, you know, and I don't think she's got it yet. I don't think she's got it yet of what we got going on. I don't, you know, I don't think that they've seen that yet. My dad just seen me on the internet the other day because he doesn't do internet, and I was worried about my dad finding out what I did, you know, because my dad's real old school, you know, and I didn't think I thought he was gonna have a problem with it, honestly, you know. And because he ain't about the silly stuff, you know, not really. And there wasn't a whole lot funny back then, I guess, when he was growing up or something.
Right.
I don't know, but I was worried about it, you know. And you know, my mom passed away, and Nemo lost his mama too. And but you know, I think our they're happy about it. You know? My mom is smiling about it.
And I want to say something too. If one of y'all's out, if somebody's out there right now and y'all are doing something creative, whether it's music, entertainment, comedy, whatever, and your family's not backing you up, keep pushing. You know, and also to the family members, you know, and you have someone in your family that's doing something creative, support the shit out of them.
Right.
You know, be their number one fan, because if you don't, someone will. Because if they keep grinding and keep pushing, something's gonna break. I promise you.
Max, my son there at home, he's loving it. He loves TrapMasters. You know, he's 7, and I take him fishing with me, and he sits out there when we do the videos, and we make video. Like, we'll have to shoot a couple videos with him knocking stuff over or whatever. So that's pretty cool to see, you know. You know, I didn't realize there was a lot of kids out there yesterday that wanted their pictures taken with the TrapMasters and stuff like that. And that was a super cool part of all this, you know. It's like reaching a whole broad range of people. And we didn't even mean to do some of this stuff that's happening with it, you know. We're bridging gaps in racism, you know what I mean? We're
all sizes, shapes, and colors love us.
I mean,
it's cool.
Different classes of people, different ages of people. I mean, we couldn't plan none of that. Come on. You know, come on.
Yeah,
you know?
Come on.
And it's like, you know, even with now, you know, as you go through the different seasons, people going to hear this, and I know you're going to do more of this, and people get to know more of your story.
Right.
And then it starts taking on a different life to where people are going to get to know you, get to know your story, and you inspiring them to do something creative, just like what you've mentioned. And you know, I kind of relate to some of those same stories, even with, you know, growing our business.
Right.
You know, some folks that know you locally. I used to get told all the time, you know, all you do is make videos.
Yeah.
Videos what's made our business. You know, we started out as being a pretty much a nobody in the general contracting space, but I knew that video would make or break our business. Excuse me. And so we just started doubling down on making content, you know, showing people, educating people about the construction business and things of that nature. And first off, you know, the real form of currency now is those that can get attention. You first got to get attention, got to get people to know who you are. And then as they get to know who you are, they want to get to know, you know, who you are, really, you know. And that's where you guys' story, I think, is going to, you know, start to play a tremendous impact when people get to see you, your struggles, where you've been, how you've gotten the notoriety you've gotten. And it's just going to take on a different life of its own. And, you know, we've kind of followed somewhat the similar, even though it's two totally different realms. The kind of storyline is the same. So that's what I'm hearing. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So what's life like now that, you know, you guys, you know, have gotten so many followers and getting so much attention? How you feeling? What you think the next steps will be?
Man, I got some plans, you know.
Yep, same.
You know, I don't think anything worthwhile can be done without faith. And I think it's faith and sacrifice. And we got plans. We got some...
we got a movie idea.
Yeah, we got.
Awesome.
I mean, we're shooting for the stars straight up, and we probably gonna get laughed at back home about it. We're gonna do it. But you know what I've learned about that too is this is people that's just haters because they're insecure. But
I want us to have our own skit comedy show, kind of like you know, our own brand of a Saturday Night Live and a Mad TV, but our version, I feel like it's time for that. There ain't been a show like that in a minute, and we got some ideas. We got a bunch of different characters we can play. We've been Magic Mikes where we were both fake magicians.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of different
And we got a bunch
characters.
of different things we love to do.
And we got, like I said, the movie idea. Wait till we get some equipment, y'all, because we about to put some money back into our thing.
Yeah, so we're taking the
And-
money that we got from this trip, and we're gonna. I'm going home and we're starting a website.
Yep.
And we're gonna be selling merch online soon, so be on the lookout for that.
We're finally going to get our link
I
on
want
there.
to do coffee cups, koozies. I want to do
TrapMaster bobbleheads, y'all be looking for them.
Yeah, TrapMaster bobbleheads. I just
I mean, they're coming.
on your
Nice.
dashboard.
Nice.
But yeah, it's sky's the limit, man.
Cool. So outside of this, what's your background? I mean, you know, I think construction. I'm in construction. You
I'm a
guys
painter.
Painter.
Yeah.
I'm a barber. I'm actually in school for barbering. Shout out to the Hair Cafe. And I do construction during the day. You know, I love my job, and I love cutting hair. You know, cutting hair to me is like being of service to people. Also, and when I sit them down in my chair and I give them a good haircut, the conversations that we have back and forth, you know, is just, man, you can feel you can have someone getting up out of your chair, leaving, feeling like $1 million, and to me, that's being creative too. You know, doing a good haircut.
You know, pretty much like that's interesting because you know, I'm a painter. I paint houses mainly. But my favorite thing about my job is to take an old house that's run down, kind of neglected or just aged, and I take it and I make it beautiful, you know, again, and then I get to see the homeowner's face where they look at that house a different way than they did, and like I'm an artist, you know, I do a lot of stuff.
How does that make you feel when you know you do that? And
Oh
the
man,
money comes
it's
in?
the money at that point. It doesn't really matter, you know. I feel like that's what I was supposed to do. You know, I was at that point right there doing what I was supposed to do, and I made some money too. So, and it's good to. I'm finally glad that I'm able to apply something that I've been learning my whole life to help me survive. You know, and but I ain't gonna lie, if I can quit painting and start trapping every day, then that's what I'm gonna do.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, I say this. You know, I deal with a lot of subcontractors, painters, electricians, plumbers, every trade I deal with. And one of the things I've learned is relationship based.
Oh yeah.
You know, the transactional stuff. At least in my business model, it
Yeah.
don't work.
Right.
And so, what I look to do is I try to build those relationships with each tradesperson, getting to know who they are, getting to know their stories and things of that nature. Because I'm the same way. You know, at some point in time, it ain't about the money. You know, money comes, it goes, and it's the relationships that I've found it really, really matters the most. And I for one, I enjoy the same thing. If it's building a custom home, or if it's for a commercial project, or even with the government, you know, seeing those folks come in, knowing they can trust you.
Oh yeah, that's a
Knowing
big
that,
deal.
you know what I mean? They ain't got us going behind you and worry
Yeah.
about you. And in today's world, like that's so.
So-
it's so uncommon.
Yeah, somebody giving you the key to their house and saying, "Hey, just go and get whatever you need out of there or whatever." Yeah, that's a good feeling, you know.
And one of the things I like to try to tell folks is that, you know, especially the younger generation, you know, there's a crisis in the construction trades, and I believe is one of the areas that, you know, if you get a skill set in, you can not only make good money, but you can become wealthy.
And then that opens you up to do whatever you really want to do, you know.
Exactly.
That's kind of what I'm doing is using the painting as a pathway to do what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I say chase your purpose, don't chase the money. If you chase your purpose, the money will come.
Yeah, yeah. We never started TrapMasters to make no money.
Nah, or get followers. It
Or
was just
to-
to be ourselves.
I mean, or to even be famous, you know. We just did it because we like
we
clowning
like
around.
laughing. We enjoy laughing.
And,
But you know, like I said, laughter is the soul. You
Yeah.
know, it's the medicine
It's
for
the
the
medicine
soul.
for the soul.
It
That's
is.
I mean,
right.
you know, so it's good. And next question I'll ask you is, Terry, tell me about, you know, something specifically being that you're in the painting business.
Uh-huh.
And I have all kind of stories to tell, but we ain't got enough time for me to get into mine. Tell me, what is the most memorable? People ask me, like, what is some of the challenges I
Okay.
face? Like, tell me
So
one of your
here's some
stories about painting.
here's some real deal American blue. It's some blue collar American life a day. So and I'm not gonna say this guy's name as bad as I want to, Okay? But I had a bill. I've only not been not paid on a job 2 times. Okay? And this guy, I painted this house for him. I painted the inside, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's great. Can you paint the outside?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he paid me a little bit for the inside, and then we went ahead and started the outside. I got it all done, and then he didn't pay me, you know. And then I go over there to get my tools, and the guy calls the police on me. Okay, and so then I'm not allowed to go back to the job site, right?
Is this who I think it is?
No.
Okay.
No, that was the other one.
Yeah.
He's gone, so I'm not going to mention him. But yeah, so that was the worst thing that's happened, like the most crazy thing, because I had all my stuff riding on this job. You know, I had all my eggs in one basket, and my rent and my electricity and things like this. And then this little snot-nosed kid wants to not pay me $2,500, and then you have to sit there and come up with a way to do it again. And it was just a terrible experience, you know.
Yeah.
And just I've had some crazy customers too, but you know what? For the majority, I work with pretty good people.
Yeah.
If I have and it's all in the estimate usually. I start at the estimate. If I get a bad feeling about the person, or if I feel like that we're not on the same page, or I can't make them happy, then I won't do it.
Yeah.
Man.
And I've had to learn a hard lesson too in business over the years, you know, especially being a nice guy, you know, and it's a very fine line, you know, because at the end of the day, one of the hard truths I've had to learn is that I deal with individuals, professionals, you know what I mean? And it dawned on me one day, I'm a business owner. Been running business, but I lead with relationship. When everybody I deal with, when it comes down to it, they are better business folks than what you are, Ralph, because you know what? When it's their money, they will fight for it.
Yeah.
Every time. And I've led my business to where I never really wanted to do that. So now the lessons I've learned is at the front end is when you have to be business, you know, and set up that structure up front, draw schedules, and things of that nature. I've got one job that I didn't get paid on. It was an all cash job.
Yeah.
It was the best job ever at first.
Oh yeah.
You know what
So
I mean?
was
And
that one.
Yeah. So like when I say cash, I mean like literally cash.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Yeah.
dropping.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, I'm like, man, this is a $400,000, and they're gonna pay me
Right.
cash and like stacks.
That's like a scene from a movie thing with
Man,
the briefcase.
We did the deal. First payment was $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as they came to my house, it kind of felt a little weird, you know what I
Right.
mean? And dropped the money in my hand, and then it was real. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I can't walk around with $100,000.
Right.
I'm Robinson
Whoa,
County.
whoa.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to rethink this.
Right.
But long story short, you know, I ended up depositing, you know, doing the right thing, you know, and it was an experience. But halfway through the job, after I got the house dried in, meaning you know the roof on,
Right.
brick on, exterior's done. Only things left is the inside trade,
Yeah.
painting,
Yeah.
cabinetry, a little bit of flooring. Owner's like, hey, we got to talk. We're not going to be able to finish the project. What do you mean? Yeah, we're running short on money.
Yeah. See, what had happened was.
What had happened was, yeah. And then the only problem was all the folks that I had on the job site was my guys, like people I built relationships
Yeah.
with. And they doing that job basically on my word that, you know, that they're good, that they're going to be good for it. Long story short, I ended up having to pay out the contract
Oh yeah.
for every trade, even though they didn't know that we didn't finish the home.
Yeah.
So I had to pay them out, and I ended up losing. So, you know, but I learned some valuable lessons, and
Yeah.
I learned I can do cash deals all day long now because of that. I don't count it a loss; I count it as an investment because I had to learn. So
Learning
now,
lessons.
Tell them
Hey.
about Alan.
and it's like now people come up to me, it's like, hey, you know, we don't need the bank. You
Yeah.
know, we're gonna pay cash, and you know, I said fine, and I tell them the story about it. I said, now here's the way we'll set that up. You know, we'll set up a draw schedule, but I'm totally upfront and honest with everyone. I'll say, here's how I'm going to protect myself. I'm like, I'm going to set the draws up to where I collect half. I'm a front loaded. Front loaded meaning I'm gonna get the draws ahead of when the work gets done.
Okay.
And you know, if you're gonna pay me in cash, it has to be done like that. And I said, I'm gonna tell you honestly and straight up, I will get paid out on the job when I'm 80% done. I'll be paid in full. And this gives them a chance to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. Technically you don't do that with contractors.
Right.
But I've did it 3 times now, and it works. And so my whole career has been like that. You learn the hard way. You learn how to put systems in place to keep you from making those same mistakes. And, we're in a very good place. And, without those lessons, you're not going to learn. So I tend to ask questions like that and, kind of hear the horror stories. One of the ones that sticks out for me, if you was like, well, what is yours like from a builder's perspective?
Yeah.
Man, it's always a challenge with communication and expectations and people's emotions with these biggest investment that they've ever made. I had this one job that didn't it kind of went off the rails, and it's a funny story. The guy was PTSD, deal with all kind of characters. He got upset because we were talking, and there was a problem on the job site. And one of the subcontractors was like, "Hey, I need you over here. We got this issue. And I was like, "Hey, can you give me a second? Let me go handle this." We go handle the problem. Next thing I know, doom, 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 doom. Everybody's, what is that? The wife comes in. She's like, "Hey, hey, calm down. Hey, can you have the guys to just pack up their stuff and leave?" I'm like, what's going on? I'll tell you, just have to pack up this. I'm like, "Hey guys, let's call it quits for today. I don't know what's going on here." Everybody left, and she pulls me to the side, and I'm looking out the back window. 4 dressed BDUs with the netting over them.
Yeah.
Laid down on the ground.
Dang.
Sniper rifle. A dummy nailed up to a tree with a hard hat. And he's unloading rounds into the dummy and had contractor wrote on it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, "What is going on?" She's like, "You pissed him off." I'm
Damn.
like, "What did I do?" I'm like, "That extreme?" She's like, "No, you did the one thing that, you don't do that to him." I'm like, "Do what?"
Yeah.
Walk away from him when he's talking to you.
Oh, crap.
I'm like, walk away from him when he's talking.
That's one of them old man rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Right?
that's my dad, bro. You just described my dad, bro. Yeah, you don't walk off from him. You
So
gonna come
let
back.
alone, I think I'm in the construction business. I think I'm building homes. Nah, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
I'm a psychiatrist.
Oh, yeah.
A marriage counselor. All these different things rolled up into one.
That's
So
facts.
when you're out there in those trades like that, it is a challenge, but
That's facts.
I love it. It gives you a very good skill set. Next question I got for you. So what's next for TrapMasters?
Well, so immediately, August 19th, we have another live show
And
in Oklahoma City. And then we're gonna start. We're gonna start exploring some different avenues on TikTok.
like I said, we're taking this money. We're starting our website. We're going to be
Yep.
selling merch online because we got so many people asking for merch. And
Finish setting everything up like that.
I mean, more videos keep making y'all laugh, but also to get more in depth into our, more in depth with our characters. Maybe draw them out.
Right.
And we want to do a little more with YouTube. We're gonna start playing with YouTube.
Yeah.
Also.
So
yeah, we started a YouTube channel, but we've only uploaded like one video to it. I think.
Yeah,
So,
we're just kind of playing with to see what, but we need put more money into our technology.
we have to have better equipment before we can make longer videos and things, and like we want to do a little bit longer skits and
we're writing our movie. It's called
yeah,
TrapMasters.
and we're writing the movie.
Well, I'll tell you guys what, we're we're a construction company, but we're very tech savvy. Any of that stuff you guys need help on,
bet.
you've got contact information.
I do.
Text us any day, anytime.
We will do that.
Setting up
Well,
landing pages, sales
was-
funnels, e-commerce sites, all
Hey,
of that. So,
We was talking about in the TrapMaster movie. We gonna have to shoot some of it down here.
Oh yeah, someone's
Yep.
gonna be shot
So-
in Pembroke.
Oh, yeah,
Pembroke.
we-
Actually,
we-
saying it wrong.
we-
My bad, y'all.
We might find ourselves out there
Mark?
at the Lumber River.
so,
all right.
yeah. Again, one of our specialties, like custom homes, that's what we've known for. Let's say there's going to come a time where you're probably going to be in this position, with the money, building a nice custom home for your wife, your family. That's typically most Americans' dream. Let's visualize that, you're at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
What would that custom home, what would that American dream look like for each one of you guys?
Oh man.
I know what mine is.
Go. Shoot.
So like I want a little bit of acreage, I just want my own little square, you know what I mean? I don't really know what 50 acres or 100 acres looks like, but I want some land to roam around on that I can hunt on,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be out in the country. And And as far as my house, I don't need no mansion really. I just want like I would be fine with just a couple $100,000 house, you know. I don't want a big old long house I gotta stretch all over and walk all over. I just want like the bare, like just kind of a basic, like 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, man. But I need 2 doors on my garage. I'd like to have that. And other than that, man, I'm sticking to pretty simple, man.
Nice.
I don't like the fancy stuff, really. You know.
And I would want whatever my wife and daughters want.
Yeah,
So-
but you're
Whatever
yeah.
y'all
That
want.
was stupid for me to even answer that question. Like, what the hell? It don't matter. Whatever she wants.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
well,
that's
hey,
true.
I'll let her decide.
Hey,
Just do that.
yeah.
Just give me my own bathroom.
It's whatever Kelly wants.
My
You know
own
what I
bathroom,
mean?
a backyard for my dog, and my own barbershop, and I'm straight. Whatever my wife and girls want.
Yeah.
What do you guys think you would worry about during that process? Let's say you from your
During the
fame,
building process?
Yeah, like what would you be concerned with possibly?
Cutting corners, like I know, because not every a lot of contractors, they don't give 2 shits how it gets done. They sub it out and they don't care, dude. And then if the guy don't care who he's hiring, then they hire the wrong people, and then you could end up people could come back and rob your house afterwards. There's a lot of stuff that could happen. You let the wrong people come work there, then the wrong people could come back. And then that's my probably worst fear is that that I built me a nice place and I had some of the wrong crews in there that was plotting on other things, or something like that. There's a just shoddy, like my electrical, something catching my house on fire while I'm asleep because they didn't want to spend the extra $20 on the name brand, whatever, something like that,
Nice. Okay. Cool.
What about Jaquarius and Terry? What would their dream home be?
Oh,
If there was a track
Yeah. What would be the TrapMastrs home?
Come on. Go.
Oh.
Shoot, what's Terry Don's? Jaquarius don't know what the hell's going on, so he's just along for the ride.
Which means we'd probably have to get a Winnebago, is what I'm thinking.
That's right.
Because we're definitely going to have to be mobile. I'm saying you put a 454, Edelbrock carbs on it, maybe some Mopar. I don't even really know what that means, but it's fast as shit.
Yeah.
Some of that carpeted stuff that dangles off the roof. We need one of those going across the front. A knob on the steering wheel. We're definitely going to need one of those. Now, I don't know how legal it would be, but you said you had done some government contracts, and we've done a couple of government contracts ourselves about getting one of those big-ass machine guns that you sit in and rotate around.
Good job.
Sorry, y'all.
Shoot character. That's all right.
Something like that, maybe some, and definitely a white racing stripe
Yeah.
down the
middle.
center, and maybe some Advantage camo all around that, wrapped around that, with a laser sight, a couple of laser sights, and a train horn. We have to have a train horn.
Gotta have the train horn.
Oh, and we're gonna need some hydraulics on that dude too, because we're gonna have,
doing that air.
yeah, we're gonna be out there,
Nice.
out there in Cali, banging
Nice,
that Winnebago.
And some spinners. Do they still have spinners?
They would make them for us.
Nice. Well, hey, I got something for you guys. I appreciate you guys being on our first episode. I did
Thank
wanna
you.
leave
Appreciate
guys
you.
with the gift. I did see where Old Faithful had died on you, and I'm
yeah.
So there you go.
That's what's up, man.
Hey.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
All right, man.
That.
Got a big
Vivitar.
yeah. the
Hey, we even got the Vivitar ring light.
With the Victor traps.
The good people down there at Southeastern General Contractors give us.
Yes, shout out.
Awesome. So hey, we did want to pitch you guys with a quick skit idea.
Yeah.
I'm always interviewing subcontractors,
Right.
bringing them on board.
Okay.
And part of the interview process, I ask them certain questions to make sure we're aligned in our vision and what we represent, and bringing on team and partners who actually do quality work. And everybody talks the talk.
Yes.
It's very
I
hard.
can do that. Yeah.
Everybody. You will not meet anyone that says, "Oh, I can't do it." They say they can do it, but when it comes time to walk in the walk, it's a total different story.
It looks like who done it.
Yeah, yeah. And so how about this skit? I'm in the office. We meet. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna give you a try on one of our homes. You know, I'll give you a try on something simple. Make sure we're good. But here's the catch: the pay is gonna be based off of performance. And then you know what I mean? And then you ever like performance, say less. I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we done.
Bro, yeah.
We walk out, you walk out, and I think I'm going back to work on the computer, typing up an invoice or whatever. Next thing you know, we hear Migos come on. You know what I mean? Walk it like a talk it. And y'all come back in, acting, lip syncing, and all that stuff with that. And then I'm like, what are we doing?
All right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, cool. So
Let's
we're
get
ending on that, and then we'll see if we can put something together. That sound cool?
Sounds good.
Let's
All right,
do it.
cool. All right.
Thank you guys.
Yep.